Hello and welcome back. I'll be finishing my journey to the US premiere of Hayao Miyazaki's new film, The Boy and the Heron. For those of you just joining, I have been revisiting my 5 favorite Miyazaki movies in anticipation for his new one, which has been released by now. Last time, I looked at the film that helped kick off Studio Ghibli, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Today, we'll be taking a look at the final film of this series and my personal favorite by Miyazaki, Princess Mononoke.
Pass on in peace and bear us no hatred.
Disgusting little creatures. Soon all of you will feel my hate and suffer as I have suffered.
As someone who loves cinema, there are a handful of films out there that remind me of the magic of movies and give me inspiration to one day tell my own stories through the medium. Princess Mononoke was the film that solidified my adoration of animation. I had always liked animation growing up, and had somewhat of an interest in doing it, but never really did anything about it, other than draw on occasion. Then a few years ago, during G-Kid's first Ghibli Fest, I got the opportunity to watch Princess Mononoke for the first time ever, and it became one of my most memorable cinematic experiences. It reinvigorated my passion not only for film, but also animation. As previously mentioned when I talked about Nausicaa, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind laid the foundation for the filmmaking style that Miyazaki would eventually be known for. Even after the film's completion, he would continue to work on Nausicaa's manga for the next 10 years, constantly having its themes in his mind and giving them more thought. Once the manga had finished its run in 1995, Princess Mononoke would become the first film Hayao Miyazaki would work on. Hot off the heels of Nausicaa, Princess Mononoke shares many similarities in its storytelling. Both have fantastical otherworldly settings, anti-war sentiment, environmental advocacy, and push for mankind to not give up and rebuild what they have destroyed. Although for me, between the two, Princess Mononoke executes its mission in impeccable fashion. Depending on whether you watch the English dub or the original Japanese track, you'll be eased into the film with the sound of war drums, followed by some opening text in Japanese or narration by Keith David in English. It gives the watcher some context of the world they are entering. We then get a quick glimpse of the monster we're about to witness. This leads into an extravagant chase/battle sequence that makes it clear that this film's atmosphere is unlike Miyazaki's previous works. The violence is more graphic, the circumstances are more dire, and the tone is more mature. The feeling that this opening sequence gave me while in the theater is something very few films have replicated, and I hope to never forget. From then on, I knew that I was diving into a grand adventure. Not only is this my favorite film by Miyazaki, but also my favorite score by Joe Hisaishi. It amplifies the feeling of being sent back to medieval Japan, into a time where giant animal gods roamed the lands, protecting the earth, and humans had begun expanding and challenging their dominance. A world unrecognizable to us, and a setting I don't often see in film as a Westerner. To simply put it, the music f***ing slaps. Hisaishi's music adds this epic scope in the beginning of the film and makes it seem like this is a tale that has existed for hundreds of years. And in the scenes where the spirit of the forest is present, the music becomes more mysterious and eerie, as if we were bearing witness to a being we cannot comprehend. I mean, just look at it. Throughout the rest of the film, we get a mixture of serene traditional Japanese music and intense drumming that builds up to big moments. It's all wrapped up in a nice bow at the end, with this beautiful piano melody that encapsulates the bittersweet end of the film.
Pretty. You two stay with Sun. I must go to the forest spirit. Right, let's go.
Probably my favorite aspect of this film is how it portrays this conflict as something that isn't black and white. In any other film, Lady Eboshi and the other humans would have been portrayed as simply the villains of the story, and Ashitaka would have been the one to stop them. But it goes much deeper than that. Despite making some cold and hard decisions, we are shown that Lady Eboshi is actually a caring leader who only wants the best for her people. She takes an outcast wherever she can find them, and she gives them a new life in Irontown. She fights against nature to protect her people. She even expresses guilt when Ashitaka shows her his curse and states that it should have been her that got cursed. On the other hand, she is destroying the forest, ridding the animals and spirits of their home. I would have loved to have learned a little more about Lady Eboshi and what led her to establish Irontown, even if it was like a 30-second explanation. Ultimately, I do think that the humans are in the wrong in this scenario, but they were just trying to live their lives for the most part. Was there a way for the humans and the forest to coexist? Who knows? On top of all of that, the humans do end up destroying the spirit of the forest, but before it died, it was able to use the last of its energy to rekindle life back into the forest, although it would be up to the humans to retain it. It's supposed to be a hopeful message that humans can rebuild what they had destroyed. They just have to act on it. And that's why I love Princess Mononoke. Well, we've made it. That was my journey to The Boy and the Heron. These past 5 films are some of my favorite films of all time, and it was nice to revisit them for the occasion. They have a special place in my heart. I'm very excited to go see The Boy and the Heron, and by now, it should have been out for about half a week. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to end up liking this film, so I'll try to share my thoughts on it as soon as I can. Anyways, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this little series as much as I did. Okay, bye.